Okay, so like we're always saying, right, to be a good doctor, you got to get people.
Yeah,
And to get people, you got to get how their minds work, right?
absolutely.
And that means personality. That's what we're diving into today, folks.
That's it.
All those theories about what makes you you, and why it matters so much for you future MDs out there. And hey, bonus, it might even help you crush the MCAT.
You bet.
So to guide us through this jungle of the mind, we've got Dr. Carter, expert in all things behavior. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Now let's kick things off with the OG of personality theory, Freud. Psychoanalysis. What's the deal with that, Doc?
Well, Freud's all about those unconscious conflicts, right? The stuff going on beneath the surface.
Uh-huh.
He says it's like this battle between three parts of us. The id, pure impulse, pleasure-seeking, like a little devil on your shoulder.
Okay.
Then you got the superego, your inner angel, all about morality, doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And stuck in the middle, the ego, the poor mediator, trying to balance those two out, make everyone happy.
So it's like a constant tug of war inside us.
Exactly. And when things get too heated, the ego uses these things called defense mechanisms to protect us from too much anxiety.
Like what?
Repression, pushing those bad thoughts way down. Denial, just refusing to see the truth. Projection, blaming others for our own issues.
That's why some patients just won't accept a diagnosis.
Could be. Denial is pretty common when you get bad news.
Makes sense. So like, give me an everyday example of this id, ego, superego thing.
Well, imagine someone's craving a whole box of cookies, right?
Yeah.
It's I'd screaming, eat them all. But the superego's like, no way, that's unhealthy. You'll feel guilty. So the ego steps in and says, okay, how about a few cookies now and save the rest for later? It's all about compromise.
Right. Finding that balance.
Right. And if your id's running wild, superego's weak, well, you might end up making some impulsive choices.
Makes sense. And Freud was all about how childhood shapes us, right?
Big time. He believed those early years lay the foundation for our adult personality. Like if we don't resolve certain conflicts as kids, it can affect us for years to come.
So it's important to consider a patient's background, their history.
Absolutely. It can give you valuable clues about their behavior.
Okay. Enough gloom and doom. Let's move on to something a bit more uplifting. The humanistic perspective. This one feels like a breath of fresh air compared to Freud.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about growth and potential. Think Carl Rogers, Abraham Maslow. These guys believed in the good in people.
They focused on what we strive for, right?
Exactly. Self-actualization, they called it. Becoming the best version of yourself.
And this whole hierarchy of needs thing, right? Explain that one to me.
Okay, so Maslow said we have this pyramid of needs. At the bottom, basic survival stuff. Food, water, shelter. Once those are met, we move up to things like safety, love, belonging.
It's like climbing a ladder.
Yeah, and the very top, self-actualization. That's where we realize our full potential, find our purpose. That's the goal,
I see. So like someone who's got all their basic needs met, feels loved and secure, they're more free to pursue their dreams.
Exactly. Think of a med student, right? They've got a roof over their head, food on the table, a supportive family. They can pour all their energy into their studies, become an amazing doctor.
So this is all about personal growth and taking responsibility for your own happiness.
That's the gist. It's about realizing we have choices and we can actively shape our own lives.
Inspiring stuff. Okay, let's shift gears again and talk about the trait perspective. This one seems all about figuring out those consistent patterns in how we act.
Bro, it's like identifying the building blocks of personality, the core traits that define who we are.
So we're talking about stuff like introversion versus extroversion.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Think Allport, Cattell, those are early pioneers. But the big kahuna here is the big five, Ocean.
Oh yeah, Ocean. We learned about that in psych class. Break it down for us.
Okay, so O is for openness to experience. Imaginative, curious, loves trying new things.
Got it.
C is for conscientiousness. Organized, responsible, always on top of things.
Great.
E, extroversion, outgoing, energetic, life of the party. A, agreeableness, cooperative, empathetic, just a nice person all around.
And last but not least,
N, neuroticism, prone to anxiety, worry, those emotional roller coasters.
yeah, I know a few people who fit that description.
Don't we all? Now imagine how understanding these traits can help you as a doctor. Someone high in extroversion might be super open to talking about their health, while someone high in neuroticism might need a little extra reassurance.
It's all about tailoring your approach.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, this Big Five model, it's backed by tons of research. It's like the gold standard for understanding personality.
Very useful stuff. Okay, next up, the social cognitive perspective. This one sounds like it brings together those inner traits and the world around us.
It does. It's like saying, hey, our environment and our thoughts, they all work together to shape who we are.
And who's the big name here?
Albert Bandura. He's all about this concept of self-efficacy. Basically, is how much you believe in your own ability to succeed.
So like if you think you can do it, you're more likely to actually do it.
Exactly. Think about a patient diagnosed with diabetes. If they believe they can manage their diet and meds, they're way more likely to stick to the plan and see positive results.
So it's not just about our personality, but also about our beliefs and expectations.
Right. We learn from watching others, from our own experiences, from what people tell us. It all shapes our sense of what we can achieve.
So we're not just puppets of our genes. We have some control over how we develop.
Absolutely. We're constantly learning and adapting, which means our personality can evolve too.
Fascinating. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the biological perspective. This one takes a more, I guess, scientific approach.
It's all about the hardware, right? The brain, the genes, the chemicals that make us tick.
And how do those things affect personality?
Well, think about temperament. That's like the foundation, the innate stuff we're born with. Some babies are chill, some are fuzzy. That's biology, right?
Right.
And that temperament interacts with our environment as we grow, shaping our personality over time.
So nature and nurture.
Exactly. And then we got neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers in the brain. They play a huge role in our mood, our behavior.
Like serotonin, dopamine, all those fun chemicals.
Yeah, those guys. High serotonin, you might be more emotionally stable, less anxious. Dopamine's all about reward and motivation. It's like a complex cocktail that contributes to who we are.
So even our personality is influenced by this tiny little molecule.
It's pretty amazing, right? Okay, let's switch gears one last time and talk about the behaviorist perspective. This one's all about the power of the environment.
Okay, so we're moving away from biology and back to external factors.
Yep. Think B.F. Skinner. He's like the godfather of behaviorism, his big idea. Personality is basically a bunch of learned behaviors.
Meaning?
It's all about reinforcement and punishment. You do something good, you get rewarded, you're more likely to do it again. You do something bad, you get punished, you avoid it in the future.
So like if a kid gets praised for sharing, they're more likely to grow up to be generous.
Exactly. And if they get scolded for hitting, they might learn to avoid confrontation. It's all about those associations we make.
But doesn't that make us sound kind of passive? Like we're just products of our environment.
That's one of the criticisms of strict behaviorism. It doesn't really account for our internal thoughts and feelings, just the observable actions.
I see. Okay, last but not least, the situational approach. This one suggests that maybe our personality isn't the only thing driving our actions.
Right. It's all about context, the specific situation we're in. Think about the Stanford prison experiment. Regular college kids randomly assigned as guards or prisoners.
Oh, that's the one where things got pretty intense, right?
It did. The guards started acting all authoritarian, even cruel, while the prisoners became submissive and depressed. It showed how the power of the situation can override our usual personalities.
So even the nicest person could turn nasty under the right circumstances.
Potentially, yeah. It's a reminder that behavior isn't always a direct reflection of who someone is deep down. We got to consider the context, the social pressures, all that jazz.
Wow, Doc, we covered a lot today. I feel like my brain's doing somersaults.
Me too. It's a lot to take in, but hey, that's what makes this stuff so fascinating, right?
Absolutely. Let's do a super quick recap for our future doctors out there. Make sure it all sinks in.
Okay. Lightning round. Psychoanalytic, unconscious conflicts, and childhood. Humanistic, self-actualization and growth. Trait theory, those stable characteristics like the big five. Social cognitive, learning from others and believing in yourself. Biological, genes, brain, neurotransmitters, the whole shebang.
Don't forget behaviorism, rewards, and punishments. And the situational approach, the power of the environment.
You got it. It's like a puzzle, all these pieces fitting together to explain human personality.
And the key takeaway, folks, personality is complex. It's dynamic. It's shaped by a ton of factors. And as future doctors, you need to understand all these different angles.
Absolutely. It'll make you more empathetic, more effective in treating your patients.
Big thanks to Dr. Carter for taking us on this deep dive into the world of personality.
My pleasure. It was a great conversation.
And for you listeners, as you study for the MCAT and get ready for med school, keep these theories in mind. Think about how they play out in real life, how they might help you understand your future patients.
It's all about applying this knowledge, making those connections.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's about treating the whole person, not just the symptoms.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's a wrap for today's deep dive. But don't go anywhere, because next time we're tackling another crucial topic: Motivation, emotion, and stress. We'll be exploring the biological and psychological forces that drive us, how we experience feelings, and how we cope with pressure. See you then.